Kia ora and welcome along to the Met Service National Forecast for Tuesday the 18th of April. Taking a look at the satellite picture, we can already see a fair bit of cloud across the Southland, and beneath that there is a fair bit of heavy rainfall feeding on towards the western coast of the Southland, and we are going to find that rain continues to move northwards as we head through the rest of Tuesday. So let's take a look at the pressure charts. You can see we've got this area of low pressure feeding that wet weather on towards the western coast. Some of it will spill across in towards the eastern side of the Southland as well, but we have got the heaviest rainfall down that western coast as we go through the rest of this afternoon for Tuesday, and we are going to find that rainfall moves northwards up towards the central parts of the country as we head in towards the night time in those early hours of Wednesday morning. To the south of that, we've got some clearer sky for the afternoon down through parts of Southland and Otago. Up north though, we keep hold of these northeasterly winds, a bit more cloud across the Northland and still a few showers to watch out for. As we head through the night, this front continues to move north as it pushes that rainfall in towards Wellington, the Kapiti Coast, up in towards, say, the southern parts of Taranaki as well. So I think we are going to find as we start the morning tomorrow, those early hours of Wednesday, we've still got that rain across the likes of the Marlborough Sounds and Wellington, and a pretty wet looking at start today for Wednesday. Further south, things are looking better and brighter down towards Queenstown and Wanaka. We'll keep a bit more cloud feeding in towards Canterbury, and a bit of a showery start to the day. As we head through the rest of Wednesday, the front continues to move a little bit further northwards. It doesn't make much headway against this area of high pressure, but we'll keep hold of that northeasterly ahead of the front. Still some very warm air above that. So we are going to find this front lingers across those southern parts of the Northland, clears away from the top of the south. We are going to find generally an improvement in the weather there as that high pressure builds over, but I think we are going to struggle to get rid of that front across the likes of, say, Wellington, the Wairarapa, Manawatu, and even parts of Taranaki as well. So it is going to be a bit of a wet looking Wednesday for those central parts of the country. We have got some severe weather watches and warnings. Now the warnings for the likes of, say, Westland as we go through the rest of Tuesday, into Bulla as well. I think we'll perhaps keep that as we go through into around about the early hours of the morning on Wednesday. Similarly for the likes of the Tasman district west of Motueka, and also those eastern parts of the Nelson region out towards Marlborough as well. Richmond Ranges, Bryant Ranges, the Ryde Valley, some heavy rain warnings in place for you. Also watches for parts of Wellington, Wairarapa, Taranaki and in towards the Taurua Range as we go through Wednesday and perhaps even the early hours of Thursday morning for the likes of, say, the Taranaki area. So we are going to keep a close eye on that as we head through the next day or so. For the Northland, you can see this band of wet weather down towards the likes of Wellington and the Kapiti Coast as we go through the daytime. It takes its time, but it is just going to slowly linger across those southern parts. Elsewhere, a fair covering of cloud. Still with that general northerly feed of air, so we'll still catch some more showers in through the Bay of Plenty, the Coromandel, and perhaps around that northern and eastern coast of the likes of Northland and Auckland. Not a bad looking day through Gisborne and Hawke's Bay. In terms of our temperatures, with that northerly wind bringing some pretty mild air across us, we're going to find our daytime highs still up into the 20s quite widely, and our nighttime lows not really low at all. In fact, we're going to find many spots into the high teens. Look at those 17s or so for our nighttime temperatures, 19s up there through parts of Northland. A very warm, very muggy night as we head through in towards Thursday. Now for the South Island, we're on the other side of that front. We start off with that wet weather through Nelson, Marlborough Sounds and on towards the Kaikoura coast. As we go through the morning time, everything starts to ease off. We'll keep hold of more cloud for the morning, but it should brighten up through parts of Canterbury and some nice clear sky later on. And not a bad looking day down that western coast and down towards the likes of Queenstown. Plenty of dry, fine and sunny weather as we head through the daytime. Just a touch more cloud through parts of Southland and Otago and a few scattered showers as well. Being on the other side of that front, we are a little bit cooler. Not drastically cold, it has to be said. Highs of still 17s, 18s, perhaps even 20 or 21 degrees Celsius up through parts of Nelson and Marlborough. It's our nighttime temperatures that can be very different to the North Island though. We're back down to single figures quite widely down that central spine and even out towards the coast. Lows in Christchurch of 8 degrees Celsius. A very different story to what we'll find north of this front up on the North Island. As we head in towards the next few days, it's worth keeping an eye on the forecast, especially out towards the north and the west. Now this first front dives away, the low pressure dives away down towards the south. The front between the two weakens away, but we are going to find another area of low pressure runs back in towards the country from the far north. Now that's going to bring with it some wet and windy weather. There's still some uncertainty about where it runs through, but you can see as this low pressure edges closer towards us, wrapping around that there's those stronger winds and there's that heavier rainfall as well. Now at the moment there is still a bit of an uncertainty as whether it drives down towards the south or just stays a bit further north and brings that wet weather in towards parts of the North Island. So with that uncertainty around, it's definitely a forecast to be keeping a close eye on as we head in towards Friday and that first part of the weekend. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.